Welcome back to Goal Getters, a video series that looks at what it means to be a goal getter. You push forward in the face of risk. You go all in, you speak up, you lean in, take your seat at the table, because being a goal getter means you believe in seeing what you can do. Today, I'm joined by Kwame Osei, former CFL player and entrepreneur. Kwame, welcome to Goal Getters. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Steve. Thanks for having me. I'm really grateful to be here and just to be amongst greatness. I'm just grateful.
Oh, well, you're too kind. You really are. Kwame, you've overcome adversity to get to where you are today. You've helped many, many others along the way. What drives you to not only be a better version of yourself, but also to help others be that too? What motivates you?
Honestly, what drives me is just the simple fact that I'm here. I've been through a lot in life. If you knew my whole story, you'll be amazed at the fact that I'm here, living and breathing. So the fact that I'm here is a living, breathing miracle. So I'm not. I don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted. So I know that every single thing I do, every word that comes out of my mouth is a gift, and I'm here to give my gift to the world, because I know there's people out there that need positivity. There's people out here that need that word of encouragement. There's people out here who may not think they have another day to live. So my job here on this earth is just to speak life into people. And I really truly believe the tongue has a power of life and death, and I choose to speak life into people.
Yeah, I love that. So, what does success mean to you? What does excellence mean to you? How do you measure that?
Man, that's a great question. When I think of success, a quote that comes to mind is a quote I heard by Earl Nightingale. And he says, success is the progressive realization towards a worthy goal or ideal. And when I really think about that, I break it down into two specific words in that sentence that stand out to me: progressive and realization. Progression is happening or developing gradually in stages and proceeding step by step. And realization is just the simple fact of being fully aware of something. So to me, success is waking up in the morning and working towards something. Waking up in the morning and working towards something that you visualize, you see, you feel, you believe that you can achieve. And it's not the end result. A lot of people feel like success is winning a championship. Success is making it the top of the mantle. But success is the process, and the process is greater than the product. You don't get the product without the process. So anybody who's working towards something, they're successful, because as human beings, we're built to work. We're not built just to lay around and not do anything. We're not built to be stagnant. We have to be always moving towards something. And that's in my vision, in my eyes, what success really is.
Yeah, I love that. We're built to work. I always tell my teams it's progress over perfection. As long as you have that vision, that understanding of where you want to get to, it's super important. But get up every single day and make progress. And if you're making progress towards that vision, I think it's super important. So I love that quote. So that leads me on to my next question, Kwame. Success is an ongoing journey, right? It's not just about achieving something this week, achieving something this year, achieving something in a part of your career. So, how do you set goals with that in mind? How do you commit yourself to progress and commit yourself to making goals? What's your method for setting goals?
For me, honestly, it's very simple. It's very simple. Having a vision. Once I have a vision, I'm going to work towards it, and that work is something you have to do consistently every day. And to me, consistency is key. Consistency is the key to everything in life. Whatever you're consistent and persistent with is what you're going to be. And I find that if you simply break it down to every day, stacking your days one step at a time, at some point you're going to get to where you need to be. And the problem, and I like what you said earlier on about progress over perfection, just consistently moving up the ladder, consistently moving up the mountain. Unfortunately, if a lot of people feel like being at the top of a mountain is everything, right? A lot of people wish that they can just fast track and get to the top of the mountain. But unfortunately, if you make it to the top of the mountain and you just place there at the top of the mountain, you didn't have to go through the different valleys. You didn't have to find the different pathways up the mountain. You're not going to be able to sustain life at the top of the mountain because you don't know
Yeah.
what's at the bottom. And in my opinion, the most important part of a mountain is not the top. It's actually the bottom, because at the bottom of the mountain is where the valleys are. At the bottom of the mountain is where everything you need to climb up the mountain is located. At the bottom of the mountain is where the forestry is, right? So
Yeah.
having a consistent climb towards the top is what you need to do, and that is broken down into what you do day in and day out. So at the end of the day, it's one day at a time and staying focused on the vision, climbing up to the top.
That's great, Kwame. I love that answer. But you've been at the top of your game. You've been at the top of the mountain, but you've been at the base camp. So, what are some of the goals that you have set for yourself right now? What are you working on?
It's interesting you said that I'm at the top of my game. I feel like I'm still like, closer to the bottom. I'm still finding my way and still learning. So for me right now, the biggest thing I want to do is be healthy. That's one of my values is health. So every day I do things that are aligned with that, keep myself healthy, because I know that if I'm feeling healthy, then everything else is going to be aligned, right? So that's a core value of mine. Another thing that I'm really working on is I want to have my own TV show, and the
Hmm.
things I'm doing daily right now is that I've kind of like transitioned into that world of film and television. I've kind of transitioned into having a circle around me of people who are in that world who I'm learning from. I'm in rooms where now I don't feel like I'm the smartest person. I feel like I'm the person that's least experienced, and now I'm just soaking up as much knowledge as I can, soaking up as much experiences as I can, and building towards my goal of one day having my own TV show. So, well, that's what I'm doing right now, and it's a day by day process.
Yeah, but again, a really good example of setting yourself a big audacious goal and then breaking it down into specific, achievable actions, steps that you can take every single day, so you can make progress against that. So tell me, what does resilience play in reaching your goals?
Ooh, man, I think resilience is can be a humbling experience. Being put in situations where you have to be resilient really tells you who you are. Character is built through adversity. Character is created through being resilient. And I think resilience is like the life resistance training. We all go through something that will challenge us. We all will go through some type of obstacle that will make us question whether or not we are built to get to the next level. But at the end of the day, like when you go to the gym and you have that resistance, you do get stronger, right? And I believe that everything in life goes through something strenuous. Everything in life that evolves goes through something that is going to challenge them, right? So, like a seed goes through a process of breaking out, right? The butterfly goes through the process. The caterpillar goes through the process of becoming a butterfly, which is a painful process, but it's a resilient process. So, everything we want to achieve in life, we're going to have to go through something that's gonna build us to be resilient.
You're an athlete, right? It's like muscle training, right? You have to break a muscle to repair a muscle to make it stronger, and it's just like a constant process of repair and growth to get to a goal.
hmm
Can you give me some examples, Kwame? Are there any particular examples that you have of where you've overcome adversity or where you've had a particular challenging environment that you've had to overcome?
Yeah, man, I feel like my whole life is based around adversity. But I'll give an example from the sports world. There was a time where I was training for football. It was off season. I was training, and I was with my teammates, who I call brothers, and we were training in a hockey rink, and we were running stadiums. So stadiums is running up and down the bleachers, up and down the stairs and the bleachers. And they go all the way up and run all the way down because we're going all the way around, right? And as we're going up, we're not just running up the stairs. We're jumping, we're going side and sideways, going backwards, doing so many different things, and we're supposed to do it for an hour, right? An hour straight. And I remember as I was doing it, I looked at the time and I realized we've only been doing it for 20 minutes. And at that very moment, I questioned everything. I said, why am I doing this? Like, this doesn't feel good. Like, this hurts. Like, this is not even enjoyable. Why am I even putting my body through all this pain? And at that very moment, I thought of my why. I thought of like my reasoning for doing it. My reasoning for training is to be the best version of myself on the field. My reason for training is to catch touchdowns on the field. The reason for training is to be able to support my team and help my team win games. My reason for training is to be the best student athlete I can so that I can be successful for my family and do greater things that nobody in my bloodline has ever done. So once I had my why, it was easy. I wasn't even focused on the pain. The pain didn't even exist. What existed was everything that I knew I was about to become. So that's what adversity can do to you, and that's what resilience can do to you. It can make you help you become the best version of yourself that, you know what, you might never even thought was even possible.
I may not be running bleachers, I may not be running stadiums, but the next time I kind of lose, I have a tough time doing a project or an initiative, I'll be thinking, what's my purpose? What's my
Your
real why? That's a
your
great
why.
example.
That's it. That's the foundation. That's the core.
You talked about your brothers and your teammates. How important is a support system in helping you meet your goals?
Honestly, a support system is everything. You know, I'm a firm believer that like, it's one thing to be intrinsically motivated. It is. But what matters more is the environment you're placed in. You could be the most motivated, the most talented person in the world, but if you're not in an environment that's conducive of that, then you're not ever gonna grow to be the level that you're supposed to be at. Like, if you got a mango seed, right, and you plant it in soil that's not that rich, it's never gonna grow to its full potential. But if you plant it in the rich nutrient soil, man, that mango is gonna grow and grow and grow, and it's gonna be the juiciest, sweetest mango you've ever had in your life. So the environment is key. You know, I remember a time in university where I think it was in my fourth year university, I was in a biomechanics class, right? And I'm not the like I'm great when it comes to like English and stuff like that. But when it comes to like science and math, not the best, right? So I'm not a sciencey person. And biomechanics is a class where a lot of people took maybe on average, people need to take at least twice to pass. You know, most people fail it the
Mm,
first time. And like I said,
yeah.
I'm not the smartest person, right? And I'm scientifically challenged too. So I remember being in that class, and I made a promise to myself that I was going to study as hard as I could, right? And at that time, I didn't really have good studying habits, so I decided to hang around people in my class who I honestly didn't hang around with much prior to that. But I said, "Hey, man,
Mm.
listen, you got to pass this class, and you better step out your box and make new friends, and not just hang around with your football." So I'm now around people who understand this biomechanics. I'm now around people who have the 90s, the 80s, and close to hundreds, right? People who are like doctors right now. And I
Mm.
remember being around them and stuff. I was studying like literally every day with them. And initially I didn't know much, but what I found is that through being just being connected to them and being in that environment, the conversations that we're having, like they were staying in my head, like, so just being around them, I was like subconsciously retaining the information, which led to me passing the class on my first try. So if that's not the power of the environment, then I don't know what is. Another story I got is I lived in a house in for university. I have a lot of stories from university, by the way. So I lived in a house in university. I had like 6 roommates, right? Well, 5 roommates, 6 of us in total, including me. Every off season, we would train together, all of us, and we would like go to the school and train. We'll do like 3 a day sometimes, and people thought we were crazy. There was one off season that all of us looked totally different, and there was a rumor that we're all on steroids. But we're just like, what? You guys don't believe in hard work, you know? The funny story about that, the irony of that is that all of us, all 6 of us, made it to the CFL. All of us,
Mm.
roommates. So it was the byproduct of hard work. So I just believe that, there's an age-old saying that says that show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. So I choose to put myself in rooms and be connected to people that I know that are gonna help me get to the next level and help me become the best version of myself. Because iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah.
And my circle sees me as the same thing.
What I love about both those examples, and particularly your first example, is that you had really acute awareness of your situation, right, and some of your own personal deficiencies, and then you particularly shaped your own environment to be able to overcome the obstacles, right? So you purposely put yourself into a place where there were thought leaders, knowledgeable people, people who really understood the biomechanics material and was
Even
successful as a result. So took control of your own destiny, which I love.
exactly.
You have a you have an approach, a seed planting approach. I think you may have given me a hint towards that when you talked about about the mango seed. Is that the seed planting approach you're talking about?
Uh, I just believe that I just love mangoes in general. That's why I said I said the mango seed. I
Who
always
doesn't
find a way.
love
I
mangoes?
always find a way to just bring a mango into every conversation. Um, the seed planting thing is just like I just believe. Like I said, I believe the tongue has the power of life and death. And my goal in life is to really be the person that I needed when I was younger. And there's so many people out in this world that are struggling with their identity. There's so many people out in this world that don't believe in themselves, or don't even know what they're capable of. And I choose to speak life into everybody and plant seeds of life, seeds of growth, seeds of confidence in them, and really hope that you know what that seed might not grow right away, but it's in there, and at some point they will believe in themselves. And I believe that every one of us has a light in us, right? And the thing about a light, and let's look at a lamp, for instance. A lamp, let's say you have a lamp and it's just laying there, right? It's just there. Nobody sees the value of a lamp until it's plugged in. My goal in life is for all of us to be plugged in so that our light will shine, and we will reach our potential, and we will impact the world in a phenomenal way. So that's the seed plan right there, to make sure that everybody is plugged in and everybody realizes their gifts and shares them with the world.
Yeah, I love it. You certainly inspired me and planted some seeds of inspiration. So I really appreciate that. But my last question is, for you personally, what does it mean to go all in on your goals?
It means everything. It means everything. Like when you say that, I go back to what I told you earlier, that for me to be here is a live and breathe miracle. And I just feel like um, growing up, the the reality of the way I grew up and what I saw around me, I saw a few things. I saw people who were into drugs. I saw people who were gangsters. I saw people who went in and out of jail. I saw people who didn't have good paying jobs. And that was not something that I aspired to become. But unfortunately, at one point in my life, I was involved in that. And I saw people who died at a young age. So I've been through a lot. I've been through various situations. And for me to be right here is a live and breathe a miracle. For me to be right here, I go against every statistic that was placed against me. So everything I do right now is like a cherry on top. So I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to try something new. So to be all in, man, it's beyond me, because I know there's people that are looking up to me. I know there's kids on my Instagram that are always watching what I'm doing, are inspired by what I'm doing. So for me to be all in is understanding the power that I have within my day-to-day interaction. For me to be all in means that I have to truly, truly believe in myself and believe in my vision. Because if I don't believe in myself and believe in my vision, if I don't believe in my goals, then who's going to believe in it? Starts with me. And then after that, the next generation is going to be inspired. And then the next generation is going to be inspired. And then we have real change in this world. So for me to be all in is everything, everything.
Kwame, you're such an inspiration, man. I really appreciate it. This is not about you. This is about a much, much bigger purpose, and for that, I'm really thankful. Thank you so much. It's really inspiring to hear you speak. Okay, Kwame, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm looking forward to my invite to be on your TV show one day.
I got you. Got you. You're gonna be a judge. You're gonna be a judge. I'm gonna be a judge in something. I got you. Don't worry.
Anytime. It was a real pleasure, and I look forward to continuing our conversation. Thanks so much for the discussion.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Like I said, I'm grateful to be here, and yeah, just I hope I didn't set the bar too high. I'm just really grateful to be
You
here.
know you did. You know you did.